Welcome to the all-new Milwaukee M12 fuel oscillating multi-tool. I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing and test with this thing. I'm just going to be comparing it up against a 20-volt Dewalt multi-tool, just kind of comparing how fast it'll cut through a piece of wood. From what I understand, these have a faster straight cut-through time than the Dewalt, so I'm going to be testing that out. Just going to be basically going over this with a quick showcase just to kind of show you guys what's in the box and kind of see what this thing looks like when it's fresh out of the box. So we have the Milwaukee box here. It's always a beautiful feeling having a package from Milwaukee show up at your doorstep. This is the tool only, although it does come with a wood blade, sanding pads, and sanding sheets. A lot of info on the box here. Fastest 12-volt cut speed, lowest full tool vibration, which I understand is because they have some sort of patented rubber bushing design in between the part of the head that actually does the oscillating and the part of the tool that you hold, unlike the Dewalt, whereas the whole thing will vibrate, and you kind of have to control how much pressure you're putting onto it, otherwise it'll just oscillate the living heck out of your hands. Without further ado, let's pop this bad boy open and see what's in the box. As you can see, I repackaged it here because I already kind of opened it up just to take a peek inside there, make sure everything's good. We've got some paperwork in here, the tool itself. I don't think this is one of the ones with that Wi-Fi feature on it. And of course we have our, as promised, sanding pads and one wood blade, which is pretty cool of them to add in there. A couple sanding pads, sanding sheets, very nice. I'm very excited about this. I've recently switched over to using the M12 platform over DeWalt's 20-volt platform for my drills. As you can see here, I've got my XC 4.0 variable speed adjustment with this position, I believe, being the auto position, where it'll increase speed as you're cutting. We're going to test that out. Very lightweight, feels great in the hand. And as you can see, they're actually about the same size with the battery on. The one thing I do like about the Dewalt is the variable speed trigger. The Milwaukee is an on-off switch, although you do have your varying speeds here. One thing I think I'm going to come to like about this is that you can really hold this at any position without having to have your hand on this dual position trigger. But once again, it's a personal preference. Both of these are great tools. And also, the Dewalt has a quick release blade change. You just pop this back and you can pull the blade right off with doing nothing else. The Milwaukee M12 Fuel, you have to pull this lever back and then you can unscrew this little nut here by hand. Looks like they put it on tighter than by hand. I'll pop it off with some channel locks, and then when I'm ready to put a blade on it, you just hand tighten it, push this clip down. Slightly longer process than the Dewalt. I think that's one of the biggest differences with these tools. But yeah, let's do a quick cut test on a piece of wood and see how it goes. Now, for the sake of this video, since I don't have two new blades, I'm going to be giving the Dewalt the brand new blade that came with the Milwaukee, and I'm going to be putting this one-day used blade on the Milwaukee, just because I'm personally betting that the Milwaukee is going to have a faster cut, despite it being the 12-volt version, and I don't want to have any crazy biases, so let's go ahead and give the Dewalt a slight advantage with a new blade, and the Milwaukee the used blade. This blade is actually in pretty good condition still. It was only used to cut drywall, and it's basically in decent condition. Real quick, I'm going to show you guys the differences and how you put the blades on. Push this in, blade pops in, and you're done. Very quick and simple. The Milwaukee's a little bit different. You unthread this by hand, take your blade, line it up with the grooves, thread your nut in, hand tight, pop the lever back. Takes a couple seconds longer. I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible and use equal force when using both of them. So we have this small piece of 1x4 here. I'm going to go ahead and use the Dewalt to begin the test. And coming straight down from the top with the multi-tool, using medium pressure and high speed. Very quick, effortless, once again a new blade. I really like how the Dewalt has the variable speed trigger once again. same thing, but in variable speed mode. It should ramp up as I increase pressure. Once again, I'm going to be using medium pressure. Also very quick, used blade, a lot less vibration. Let's try it again on max speed. Even quicker. Now the trick to the Dewalt is actually to use less pressure, I believe, because the more pressure you use, the more it's going to cause the whole tool to vibrate. So I find that light to medium pressure and letting the tool do the work with the Dewalt is the best route to use. Here's what happens if I use a lot of pressure. It almost doesn't want to cut. If I use light to medium pressure and let the tool do the work, it does a lot better. Now once again, this is not a scientific test between these two tools. I used my hands. One's an M12 tool, the other's a 20 volt full-size tool. All in all though, I think Milwaukee and Dewalt are pretty similar in terms of their quality of construction, and I think a lot of times with these tools it just comes down to a personal preference of what you like better, such as the variable speed trigger with the Dewalt versus the on-off switch on the Milwaukee, the quick change blade on the Dewalt versus the nut style lever quick change on the Milwaukee, and also the fact that this is built right into the head of the tool and causes the whole tool to vibrate, so you kind of have to think a little bit more about the pressure you're applying when you're cutting different types of objects. Whereas the Milwaukee has a patented, I believe it's patented, rubber bushing design that separates this piece from the actual tool itself to avoid causing the whole thing to vibrate. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick unboxing on the Milwaukee Fuel M12 oscillating tool. I think it's going to do me fairly well for what I need it to do. I'm not cutting drywall 20 times a day, or even every day for that matter. So if you're looking for something that's going to be used heavily, maybe consider going with the 20 volt full-size oscillating tool from Milwaukee, or even checking into the Dewalt oscillating tool. It's pretty much up to you guys. I see advantages to both. I like them both. I've owned both. And that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.